By now, many of you have seen the viral video of Neil McAvoy, who's a member of the Welsh Parliament, being approached at his home by police officers on Sunday night who were cautioning him for handing out leaflets to be re-elected in Parliament. And he said, what you're doing is a fundamental affront to the democratic process. And he said, why aren't you using these same rules and these same restrictions against the opposing party who are doing the same thing as I am and distributing leaflets? And the police went on to say that that doesn't apply to your opponent because they're using a private company in order to distribute the leaflets, like a pizza delivery voucher company would use, and therefore it's legal. And both Neil McAvoy and ourselves here in London find something fundamentally wrong with this because it favors the big parties and it punishes the little guy from getting their message out there. And if you haven't been watching for the past 3 weeks, that's exactly what's happened to us because this has become political. The major two parties are trying to punish the smaller parties here in London, whether it's us as an independent or the Lib Dems or the Greens, for actually trying to get their volunteers to pass out leaflets, and yet they're allowing the bigger parties, Labour and the Conservatives, to go ahead and pay for companies to distribute leaflets to the voters. Now, I'm asking you a question right here and right now. If it's a human putting a leaflet through a slot in a door, what's the difference? This is clearly political, the same as when we were detained and fined and banned from campaigning by City of London police only 3 weeks ago. You've probably seen that video go viral as well. Again, we believe it's political in nature, and I know the police have a difficult job, but you cannot stop the democratic process. There's something fundamentally wrong with that, which is why we are asking for free and fair elections to go ahead on May 6th. And that means that all parties need to be able to campaign in a COVID-secure manner, which means delivering the leaflets. And that's why right here, right now, I am going to promise this. I will be distributing 500,000 of my Brian for May leaflets to the citizens of London in the following few weeks by any means necessary. Yes, you heard that right, because I believe this is part of the democratic process for you to know about your candidates. If you don't know that there are independent voices like myself out there, then how can you choose your next mayor of London? There's something fundamentally wrong here when they are forcing independent and smaller parties to use a private company to distribute these leaflets. It's wrong, it's not democratic, and we are going to put a stop to it. So look out, 500 leaflets are coming right now, and we're going to make it happen by any means necessary. Please leave your comments below. Again, we believe all parties should be allowed to do this. Leave your comments. Tell me, first of all, do you think this is political? Do you think the big guys are trying to squash us little guys and our independent voices? Do you think that the Labour Party is running scared because we are currently in second place and the only person that can beat Khan? And do you think that we should be allowed to leaflet and campaign in a COVID-secure manner? Leave your comments below. Share this video with someone who needs it. And I'm now going to play for you the video of the police coming to Neil McAvoy's house on Sunday night in Wales. That's the wrong thing to do. We appreciate you, Neil, for standing up for the democratic process. Let's move forward. Free and fair elections on May 6th.
You received a report from a member of the public, basically, that you and some of your party members might have been out dropping leaflets over the last couple of days in the Penfrobane and Caira areas. Does that ring any bells?
I'm trying to think what to say, really, because you guys are tweeting earlier that you were dropping leaflets, as in South Wales Police were dropping leaflets in Bridgend. So what's the difference between you dropping leaflets as police officers and me dropping leaflets as a member of the Senedd?
I'm not aware of that tweet. Neil, I'll take your word for it.
So, no, I inquired with the South Wales Police because there's an election coming up. Mark Drakeford is paying to have his leaflets delivered.
Yeah.
And what time is it now, guys?
It is 25 past 8.
So it's 25 past 8 on a Sunday evening. My baby's in bed. My wife's in the background. So police, I'm videoing. And you are knocking at my door at this time, chasing up the fact that I'm delivering leaflets to constituents in my own constituency. This is an abuse of the democratic process. If this is, we're going to be standing for the police commissioner elections, and if this is how the chief constable runs the South Wales Police, then Propel, my party, will be seeking to remove that man from office.
Okay, it is in breach of the coronavirus regulations.
I disagree.
But It is, though. It's written
I
in
disagree.
law, you know.
No, it isn't written in law. It's an interpretation of government advisors who work for Mark Drakeford. It's not law. I voted on this legislation. I did not vote to stop politicians delivering leaflets when an election has been called. This is... It's nothing to do with you. You've drawn the short straw to come here this evening. I understand that, but this is an abuse of the democratic process. I'm a democratically elected politician. I have been delivering leaflets. I'm not in breach of any regulations whatsoever. Why is Mark Drakeford allowed to have his leaflets delivered, and you're chasing me up for having mine delivered?
Well, the regulations state that they shouldn't be delivered door to door, that they should be mailed. Obviously, as mail delivery is still being carried out under the level 4 restrictions.
No, Mark Drakeford has had his delivered with pizza menus by hand by a paid company.
Okay.
A private company.
I don't want to comment on that, but...
Well, that is the case.
This is the allegation that we've received today, okay?
As with all COVID breaches, we have to come and ask.
Well, there is no COVID breach. I'm a politician in touch with my electorate. Just as Mark Drakeford is in touch with his electorate, he is paying the company to deliver his. Are you going to chase it the First Minister?
We're not, based on...
Well, I'm making a complaint now that a leaflet was delivered to a Propel. I won't say the Propel member's name on video. A Mark Drakeford leaflet was delivered by hand to his address, and I'll make a formal complaint. I'll email you what address. I want you to go and interview Mark Drakeford as well.
This is not an interview, Neil.
Okay, well,
how was this leaflet delivered?
By hand.
Okay. By who, though?
I don't know. It was delivered with a pizza menu, so I assume it was by a private company.
Or could it have been that it's one of these leaflets that's put through the door with the post?
No, it wasn't post. No.
Okay. Neil, I'm not going to comment on the veracity of that. Okay.
If you're gonna act on complaints that they're made about me for having leaflets delivered in Cairo, then I'm going to ask you to go and knock on Mark Drakeford's door at 8:20 on a Sunday evening and make inquiries with him. This is on video, Kevin. Do you mind? It's okay. Go to bed, love. It's all right, honestly.
Okay, Neil. Are you saying then that leaflets were delivered?
I'm not saying any more than I've said now. What I'm saying is, as a democratically elected politician, I have a right to keep in touch with my electorate. Mark Drakeford was on television when you guys were hassling me in Grangetown when I was doing an outdoor street surgery at distance. People had masks on. The very same day, and I wrote this to the Chief Constable. The very same evening, the First Minister was on the news without being distanced.
Okay.
No distance, and you guys. Nobody can. Well, do I make a complaint about that now? Will you investigate the First Minister? I'm doing my job, and you guys are hassling me doing my job.
I wouldn't.
This isn't.
I wouldn't say so.
This is an invasion of my privacy. You've come here late on a Sunday evening. My baby's in bed. My wife's in bed. My wife is upset, as you can see, and it's an abuse of the democratic process. I've been investigated by you guys.
Your wife doesn't appear visibly upset to me.
Well, she is upset. How do you feel, though?
Oh,
she doesn't. She doesn't look upset. Are you serious?
Beyond words.
She says it's beyond words, so I think she is upset.
Okay. Neil, all we're going to do today, okay,
yeah.
is give you some advice that you should not be out dropping leaflets. It is in breach of the coronavirus regulations and the level 4 lockdown. Okay?
Is there a van over there? Come and I'm being visited again with a police van. This is bordering on fascism. This is authoritarianism. You are. Will you be interviewing the First Minister?
All I'm going to say now, Neil, is okay. This is going to be referred to the Joint Enforcement Team.
Refer it to them.
At South Wales Police.
Yeah.
I am going to caution you. Okay.
Caution me for.
For a possible breach of coronavirus regulations.
Is it a breach or is it a breach or is it a possible breach?
Do not mention now something which
yeah?
is line
okay.
Court, okay. So like I said, it will be referred to the Joint Enforcement Team if they consider that any action should be taken. Based on our encounter today, then they'll do so. And they'll be in touch very quickly.
Well, I'll tell you what. Tell your Chief Constable we will stand for election in the Police Commission elections, and our position will be that man will go the very next day after the election when we win it.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All the best.